Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel English Literature. We are going to read Shakespeare's Macbeth, Act-1, Scene-3. On the heath near the battlefield, the witches appear as they promised before. In the Act-1, Scene-1, they promise to meet again and welcome Macbeth. They brag of their dread and magical deeds, such as killing swine, cursing a sailor whose wife refused to share her chestnuts. Macbeth and Banquo enter. The witches hail Macbeth as Thane of Glamis, Thane of Cawdor, and King hereafter. Banquo asks Macbeth why he seems to fear this good news. Then questions the witches about his own future. They say that Banquo is lesser than Macbeth and greater, because though he will never be king, his descendants will be. Now, Macbeth asks how the witches know this information, but the witches vanish, making the two men wonder if they could have imagined the whole thing. Just then, two noblemen, Ross and Angus, enter. They tell Macbeth that the old Thane of Cawdor was a traitor and that Duncan has made Macbeth the new Thane of Cawdor. So already one of the prophecy of the witches proves true. Macbeth and Banquo are shocked. Macbeth asks Banquo if he now thinks that his children will be king. Banquo seems unsure and comments that instrument of darkness. Who are the instruments of darkness? The three witches sometimes tell half-truths to bring men to ruin. As Banquo talks with Ross and Angus, Macbeth ruminates over the prophecy. Macbeth feels that he is losing himself and hopes that if fate says he will become king, he won't have to act to make it happen. He is doubtful if the kingship is going to simply happen for him or whether he will have to perform some dreadful deed like murder of the king to make it happen. Now, Ross and Angus think Macbeth's reverie is caused by becoming Thane of Cawdor. Finally, Macbeth shakes himself from the reverie and the group starts their journey for forest. Macbeth and Banquo agree to speak about the witches' prophecy later. So, this is the synopsis of the whole scene, and this scene is quite big. We'll put light on the major and main important dialogues, otherwise it will be disastrous. Okay. Now again thunder, enter three witches. First witch, where thou hast been, sister. Second witch, killing swine. Third witch, sister, where thou. A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I. Auntie, which the Ramfordronian cries. So this scene is not so, this place is not so important, these line dialogues till Macbeth enters, but there is some significance. The significance is this scene where the three witches are talking about their mischiefs they have done to others and their revengeful motives. This scene, this part of the scene introduced us with the vengeful nature of the witches, and again their power, their mischief making power. They establish themselves as both wicked. They are wicked, they are magically powerful. Because as the sailor's wife has denied chestnut to one of the witches, they are all now ready to take revenge by destroying her husband who is on board. So they can do that. Their power, their magical power and their mischief making power is enforced there. And now they are going to meet Macbeth. Okay. Drum, a drum. So they just listen, a drum. Third witch, a drum, Macbeth doth come. So when they are speaking in rhyming words. All. The weird sisters hand in hand. Who are the weird sister? Weird sister refer to the three witches. Posters of sea and land. Poster means travelers, swift travelers of sea and land. Thus do go about, thrice to thine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up nine. So this is quite rhyming. The children will like to recite it. Peace, the charms wound up. So they are chanting some magical words, and they are making a spell. So the charms wound up means the spell is created. The spell is complete. Now within that spell enter Macbeth and Banquo. And then what happened? This is Macbeth and this is Banquo. Macbeth just enter and pronounce, so foul and fair a day I have not seen. Oh my God, a wonderful line is and significant line. Because the very phraseology Macbeth uses, foul and fair. Do you remember? Foul and fair, these words are used by the witches in the Act 1, Scene 1. Foul is fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and fill the air. So the same words that the witches used, Macbeth echoes the words of the witches. So the same phraseology. The Macbeth is already inside the spell of witches. The connection is created between Macbeth and witches. Now Macbeth and witches are in the same position. So Macbeth is using their words. Macbeth is under their charm. You will understand very soon. You will understand that how Macbeth is pushed inside their charm. That is not Banquo. Okay, Banquo is not, but Macbeth is whirling inside their charm. Banquo, how far it is called to forest? Banquo is just inquiring about that how is the distance from here to the place known as forest. Then suddenly Banquo noticed those witches, and he asked, what are these so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on't? Live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me, by each at once a chappy finger laying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so. So, in Banquo is describing their appearance. It seems like they are women, but from their appearance, it is like they have beards. Banquo is describing them. That are you really alive, or are you being to whom a human can speak? It seems that they understand Banquo because they are placing their rough fingers upon their thin lips. So they are understanding what Banquo is telling them. Now Macbeth, speak if you can. What are you? First witch, all hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis. So first one, hail Macbeth, welcome Macbeth as Thane of Glamis. And Macbeth is Thane of Glamis because after Macbeth's father, who was Thane of Glamis, after his death, Macbeth is the Thane of Glamis automatically. Second witch, all hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor. Now Macbeth startled. Why they are calling him Thane of Cawdor. And third witch, more startling, all hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter. This is very important because when the third witch utters these lines, these words, we are not sure how Macbeth is feeling, but we become sure with the speech of Banquo. Good sir, why do you start? So we can understand Macbeth's expression from Banquo's words. When the third witch said, all hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter, Macbeth startled. Why? If someone says some good prediction to you, what will happen? You will be happy, or you will feel that some surprise, excitement. But Macbeth is startled. Macbeth is apprehensive. Macbeth is afraid. Why? The reason I think that Macbeth feels disturbed, because in Macbeth's mind already that thought is going on to be king, and how to be murdered by murdering Duncan. So that thought was already in Macbeth's mind. This vicious thought was lurking inside him, and when the third witch just echoed the same desire, there was a great clash, and Macbeth felt disturbed. That Macbeth felt naked, as if the third witch is exposing his wish. That's why he is startled. That's why he is disturbed. He is not inquiring, why are you saying this, but he is disturbed. If he already pondered over the prediction in his secret heart, he had bore these dreams to be king by murdering someone. And third witch's words thus echoes those thoughts. Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? Now Banquo is asking Macbeth, good sir, why do you look perturbed, and why do you appear frightened to hear statements that sound so pleasing? In the name of truth, are you fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly is so? My noble partner, you greet with present grace. What is present grace? Present grace means present state of Macbeth, that is Thane of Glamis. And great prediction. What is great prediction? Thane of Cawdor. So, present grace refers to Macbeth's present state of condition, that is Thane of Glamis. Okay, 1 second. Can you see this writing? Okay. Now, and great prediction is by second witch, Thane of Cawdor. And noble having and of noble of and royal hope. Of noble having and of royal hope. What is now royal hope? That is to be king. That he seems rapt withal. So after hearing the witch's prediction, Macbeth is now rapt withal. Macbeth is lost in thinking. He is rapt. He is lost in thinking. To me you speak not. Now Banquo is addressing the witches that you have not speak with me. If you can look into the seeds of time, means if you can look into the future and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate. So now I am one who neither begs your favor nor is afraid of you, of your hatred. Now speak to me. So Macbeth is now wrapped in his own thought, and now the witches are talking with Banquo. First witch, hell. Second witch, hell. Third witch, hell. First witch, lesser than Macbeth and greater. Second witch, not so happy, yet much happier. All the lines are ambiguous. Third witch, thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So this is the line that predicts Banquo's fate, that Banquo will not be king, but Banquo will get kings. Okay. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo. First witch, Banquo and Macbeth, all hail. Now Macbeth's attention is here. Stay, you imperfect speakers. Now Macbeth want to know more. He's imploring them to stay. Tell me more. By Sinel. Who is Sinel? Sinel is Macbeth's father. Sinel is Macbeth's father. By Sinel's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king, stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, of why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting? Speak, I charge you. So Macbeth wants to know more, that he is already Thenop Glemis, but Thenop Cawdor lives. So why they are asking him as Thenop Cawdor, welcoming him as Thenop Cawdor? Tell me more. What is the source? From where you get this information? But the witches don't listen to Macbeth and they vanish. Now Banquo, the earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Just as water has its bubble, which hardly lasts for a moment, so the earth too has its bubble, which have a fleeting existence. Whither they vanished? Macbeth. Into the air, and what seemed corporal means physical. What seemed physical now just melted like bubble, as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed? Now they're confused that they are just appear physical but they melted. Now Macbeth, would they had stayed means Macbeth's desire, Macbeth's wish. I wish that they stay. Banquo, what such things here? As we do speak, Banquo is also confused that what those creatures really were here that we were speaking about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes reason prisoner? Means Banquo is confused and he feels that maybe they have eaten the herb which causes insanity and which renders human intelligence incapable of functioning. Reason is prisoner. Reason is prisoner due to they have eaten some insane root. Macbeth, your children shall be kings. Macbeth is thinking about the predictions. Your children shall be king. You shall be king, Macbeth, and Thenop Cawdor too. Won't it not so? That I will be Thenop Cawdor. Did those creatures not say so? The Banquo is saying, to the self-same tune and words. In the same tune and words as you told. In the same tune and words. So again a connectivity between the Macbeth and witches is cleared. Ross and Angus appeared. The king hath happily received Macbeth, the news of thy success, and when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend, which should be thine or his. So silenced with that. Okay, now here is a conflict in Duncan's mind. His wonders and his praises do contend, which should be thine or his. So there is a conflict. What is the conflict? Duncan's mind between his astonishment at the achievement of Macbeth and his admiration for Macbeth. So Duncan is in some confusion, in conflict in his mind due to what is the reason of the conflict? The reason of conflict in Duncan's mind. D for Duncan, no, not anything else. His astonishment at the achievement of Macbeth and his admiration for Macbeth. This is the reason of his confusement or the reason of his conflict in his mind. And for that reason he became silenced. Okay. Because of that mental conflict he is speechless. In viewing over the rest of the self-same day, he finds thee in a stout Norrian ranks. Now, what happened? Macbeth's bravery is praised here by Ross. Nothing afeard of what thyself did make, strange images of death as thick as hell, composed with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defence, and poured them down before him. So, you are a very great soldier. You fought in the midst of the strong Norrian soldiers without feeling afraid of death for yourself while you were in an unusual manner putting many persons to death. Now with post means messengers came to him swiftly and one after the other, as thick as hailstones, and each one of them spoke highly of your bravery in the battle in which you defended your country against the enemy. And all the messengers were full of praise for you. Okay, so this is Macbeth's opinion, you can say. Angus, we are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee. Means we have been sent to give you thanks from our royal master, that is the King Duncan, and we are here only to escort you into his presence and not to reward you for your action. This will be the audacity on our part. Humble Angus. But Ross now informs something. And from an earnest of a greater honor. As a token of the great honor which the king has in mind, earnest means token. The word earnest means something offered in advance. The greater honor, he bade me for him call the Thane of Cawdor. So now Ross gives the news that he is going to be the, from now on he will be the Thane of Cawdor. In which addition hell most o'er the Thane, for it is thine. Now this address belongs to Macbeth. Now Banquo is also startled. What? Can the devil speak true? Who is the devil? The devil is the witches. Macbeth, the Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in border robes? So this is a dress image. You will find this dress imagery again and again in this drama. So Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you use the title of him with me? It belongs to another person. Angus. Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment. Means he is already in death sentence. Death sentence is already pronounced for him in the previous scene. Bears that life which he deserved to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway. Thane of Cawdor combined with whom? Norway. King of Norway. Or did the line of rebel and MacDonald. I have already told you in the previous scene that Thane of Cawdor, number 1 Thane of Cawdor, there was now MacDonald, the rebel, and number 3 there was Norwegian king. So all three were in a group. Now MacDonald was killed and Norway has to pay huge ransom. And finally, Thane of Cawdor was given death sentence. That was the fate. You have to remember the fate of the three traitors. Fate of the three traitors. With those Norway or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, so that we both. Sorry, this is the line number. He labored in his country's wreck, I know not, but treason's capital confessed and proved have overthrown him. Okay. So now Macbeth aside. Glamis and Thane of Cawdor, the greatest is behind. Aside means Macbeth is speaking with himself now. That I am already Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. Two prediction is proven. And the greatest, what is the greatest one? The greatest means the kingship. The kingship is behind. So I am going to be king. So the hope is working. Now the hope is working within Macbeth. To Ross and Angus, thanks for your pains. To Banquo, do you not hope your children shall be kings? When those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them? Banquo, that trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown beside the Thane of Cawdor. But this strange and oftentime to win us to our harm. The instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles to betray in deepest consequence. So now Banquo is not like Macbeth. Banquo is more reasonable. Macbeth is just disturbed with this new hope that he is Thane of Cawdor, now he will be the king, and he is so disturbed that he is behaving something odd. But Banquo is warning, if the prediction of those creatures be believed fully, their words may excite you to hope for the crown, but you must be careful. These strange and oftentimes to win us to our harm. This is the warning of Banquo. Warning to Macbeth by Banquo. That what? That Evil spirits often create confidence in us by speaking the truth about small matters. So the small matters, then of blemish, then of quarters are small matters. So you now want to be the big, you want to put your hand in the big matter, that is the kingship, and then you may be deceived in the matter of vital importance. So you may be deceived in the matter of vital importance. To Ross and Angus, cousins, allow me to have a word with you. Cousins, a word I pray you. Because Macbeth is not totally engrossed, Macbeth is totally disturbed. Macbeth is thinking, Macbeth is pondering over his own ambition. Macbeth aside, two truths are told. Macbeth is not paying any heed to Banquo's warning. Two truths are told as happy prologues. Two of the predictions are proved already. To the soiling act. What is the soiling act? Soiling act means the act of to be the kingship. So this image from drama, play, where the actors, you will find this again and again, acting, this acting image of the imperial theme. Imperial themes means theme that is related to kingship. I thank you, gentlemen. So Macbeth is speaking to himself, and again he is just trying to make a balance. Aside, this supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. This is very important. Cannot be ill and again cannot be good. Why cannot be ill? If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? So Macbeth is asking, self-questioning, and he is saying that this supernatural prediction cannot be evil on the ground, that if they are evil, why has in the beginning they proved themselves as true? Why some success has already been come to him by means of conferment of the title, Thane of Cawdor. Okay, so with the Thane of title, with the title Thane of Cawdor, the truth is already proven. So this cannot be evil. But if good, why do I yield to that suggestion? If it is good, then why I am feeling that the certain suggestion of the horrible image, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair? So why it is good, then why I am feeling so disturbed? The something horrible image, why it is unfixing my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs? It is unsettling me and making my firm heart shudder against my ribs, contrary to my natural habit. So there is something bad in it. So good and bad, these two things he is thinking over that. Against the use of nature, that is not my usual nature, that my heart will just knock at my ribs. Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. So this is a very important line. Present fear. Now, the dangers which I can actually see are less than the dreadful thoughts which now take their rise in my mind. Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought whose murder yet is but fantastical. So Macbeth is already thinking about murdering Duncan to be king. Sex, so my single state of man, sex, but he is also at the same time he is afraid. So with this speech, with this aside, we will find the birth of evil in Macbeth's mind, birth of evil in Macbeth's heart. Macbeth's mind has started working on murder. Single state of man means composite nature, body, mind, spirit. So Macbeth's composite nature as a human being, that's function is smothered to surmise. Crushed, smothered mean crushed, to surmise, to conjecture. Okay, and nothing is but what is not. So Macbeth, yet that this is something purely imaginary, that I am killing, and yet it shakes my feeble human condition to such extent that the normal operations of the mind are crushed by the overwhelming image of murder, and now only what is imaginary seems to exist. Nothing is but what is not. So what is not means what is imaginary is only now exist. It only now exists and nothing is working in my mind now. Okay, so you understand what is going on there. Now Banquo, look, our partner is wrapped. Macbeth aside, if chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my sire? So Macbeth's mood already starts fluctuating. Macbeth's mood is fluctuating. He is not the same Macbeth before he hears the prophecy. So Macbeth is now two Macbeth. Macbeth before he hears the prophecy, and Macbeth, the other Macbeth, after the prophecy. That is two Macbeth, and we are dealing with this Macbeth. Macbeth's behavior is proving that witches are able to influence Macbeth a great lot, that the witches cannot do with Banquo. This aside, again and again aside, and Macbeth's raptness within himself, this proves that Macbeth is already under the spell of the witches. Banquo guesses the witches' plot exactly as Macbeth has started to believe the witches, and he is going to be their prey. He is going to follow what the witches had said. Macbeth is already thinking about killing Duncan, but the thought is terrifying him. Till now he has some conscience, that's why his hair is getting fixed and he is feeling so disturbed. The thought is terrifying him. Now what is Macbeth saying? Macbeth is saying that if chance will have me the king, then there is no need for me to take any step. So as a member of royal family, there is some chance that Macbeth is eligible for the crown. Chance means as a royal member, Macbeth has the eligibility to be the king. So automatically he be king if Duncan dies, and after that Macbeth is declared as king, maybe. So in that case Macbeth will not have to do any horrifying work. So Macbeth is hoping for that. Without my star means without my intervention. Inevitably he has nothing to do with it. Banquo, new honors, there is some mistake, there is horrors. No, it is not horrors. New honors come upon him, again dress imagery. New honors come upon him like a strange garments, cleave not to their mold. Cleave not means Macbeth is not yet adjusted with the new garment, new honors body, but with the aid of use. But gradually he will be adjusted with the use. He will become comfortable, habituated to them before feeling comfortable with use. Macbeth aside. So Macbeth is, this continuous aside is proving that Macbeth is already working with the witches. Come what may come, time and the hour runs the roughest day. Banquo, or the Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure. Or the Macbeth, we are waiting for your convenience to resume our journey. They are going to meet King Duncan, but Macbeth is going on thinking and thinking, pondering and pondering. So Macbeth, give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. But it is things not forgotten, agitated. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. King gentleman, your pens are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king think upon what hath chanced, and not at more time. And at more time, the interim having weighed it, let us speak our free hearts each to other. This is about told to everyone, and this part is told to Banquo. Now what he is saying, my dull brain is wrought with things forgotten. Macbeth is lying. Macbeth is explaining his inattention by a lie. Not it is things forgotten, but things of future. Macbeth's mind is occupied with, Macbeth's mind is not occupied with things forgotten, with past, as he is explaining to other, but with the future. So he is lying. Let us forward to king, he said to the other, Ross Angus, and then he is asking Banquo, think over what has happened, and let us speak freely and frankly to each other after some time has passed to enable us to judge all these things impartially. Okay. And Banquo says very gladly, okay, no problem, we can talk. Macbeth, till then enough. Now come, friends, we are going to meet Duncan. So this scene is very important because it sets the tone and now the action of the drama. What is going to do next? Okay, thank you.